she's so good looking, I want her.
Would you consider that as lust? Because I heard a saying one time, it was that love always tends to give, and lust is always trying to get.
Now, love can expect a godly return.
Okay.
Love is not only giving, but love is founded on a heart to give.
Okay.
And not just give. Love is founded on a heart to give up for the other person. If you want to marry somebody desperately, but you love the person, your willingness to wait is the heart to give up your desire to honor the other person's desire. You want to sleep with somebody, but if you really love the person, you're responsible, and you will tell yourself, because though I'm tempted to sleep with her, I want to honor her. I want to keep her as a virgin, so that when our generations come, we will have a story to tell them. So that love would say, for her sake, I would want to, keep her a virgin, keep her happy. So definitely, love is very different from lust.
I also want to drop a quick question. I know a lot of the young people out there will have this question: sex before marriage. Some will say why, and also, what if you know that you're going to get married to that person anyway? Why do we still have to wait?
Well, if you know that you're going to get married to the person anyway, then get married now. Because I know many people that had slept with people knowing they're going to get married and never did. I know many people come and share their stories. They come and share their life with us. And they tell us, you know what, I believed in him, but he said he doesn't love me anymore. Like, sex is a very holy thing. Sex is a pleasurable thing, but sex is holy. And the Bible says that God has laid boundaries, that he wants you to have sex with somebody only inside the confines of a covenant or a commitment to live with that person for the rest of your life. The Bible says sex before marriage is called fornication, and sex outside your own marriage, other than your spouse, is called adultery. And the Bible says when you have sex with somebody outside your marriage, or you have sex before your marriage, saying that, anyway we're going to get married, the Bible says it's fornication, and it is a sin before God. And you cannot promise that you're going to get married to the person, even though you say you can. I know somebody who was saying, I'm in this relationship with a guy, they were going on for a long time, and a week before their marriage, he met with an accident and he died. And you know what? And I've met many other people that get into physical relationship and never end up getting married to that person. And when they get into the next marriage, they carry a lot of guilt and shame and pain. And they can never open up their lives and never tell their stories to those people, because there's a lot of guilt and shame in their heart about what they do. So sex before marriage is an absolute no-no, because sex is holy. God is involved in your marriage. God is involved in your relationship. And so without a covenant, if you can't walk into a responsible covenant with somebody, don't get into bed with them. Make sure that you get into bed only after you come into a covenant with them.
Thank you, Dr. John. So there you go, guys. Sex before marriage is a definite no-no. We've got a live tweet from Nitin who says, thank you, Dr. John. Great words of wisdom.
Thank you.
Awesome. We've got the next question. This is a bit complicated. It says, my friend got into a relationship with a guy who she later found out is a bisexual. What should she do?
Well, if she's in a relationship with a guy and she finds out he's bisexual, which means he likes girls and he likes guys, you're headed for a storm if you're going to get married. If you're not married, you're still in a storm. And I would really encourage you to come out of that relationship, because a stitch in time saves 9. Today you have to save, all you need to do is a stitch. Tomorrow you'll have to stitch 9. And so I would really encourage you to come out. Many people have different sexual preferences. Bisexual, homosexual, heterosexual, some, all kinds of things. Some get into marriage years later, they say, you know what, I'm actually not a man, I'm a woman. I don't have some are transvestile, some want to have a sex change operation. But who you are is really signed into every DNA, every fiber of your body. If somebody wants to have, is in a bisexual relationship, it's because sex is high on their priority list. Oftentimes, the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Which means, what is he thinking about so often and all the time? When you get into pornography and you're involved in the internet, you're involved in television, and you're thinking about sex all the time, you're thinking about masturbation all the time, you're thinking about all kinds of sexual activity, you're dreaming about those things, and your mind begins to get full of that. And then you begin to tell yourself, I'm actually that. I like men also, I like women also, and I like, group orgies, and I like multiple sex partners, you're dreaming that, and you end up becoming a slave to sex. And that itself will destroy your life. And you'll find out a few years down the road that you'll be left alone with no one loving you. So the bisexual man is actually preparing himself to be single for many, many years, because people will walk out in his life as much as he walks out on people. Let me share a very, very important story. A few years ago, I met somebody on I was asked to help somebody medically. He was very ill. I rushed into that place. It was a small hut. I met him, and the place was filled with maggots, and his leg was swollen, infected, and they have maggots in the sores. He had a diabetic foot. I checked him up, and I had to pick him and take him to hospital. Before I took him to hospital, I just shared the gospel with him, and I said, I want to pray with him. He looked at me and he said, sir, do you know who I am? He was living in a thatched hut. I said, no, sir, I don't know who you are. He said, sir, my name is so-and-so, and I was a famous actor in Indian cinema. And he opened up his album and showed me himself acting and dancing with famous people. And I looked at him, and now he was literally on the streets in that poor hut. I picked him up, nobody to love him, nobody to care for him. So the early days of your life, sex is fun, hopping from person to person is fun, but down the road, the cost of it will catch up with you. So just guard your life.
Thank you, Dr. John. And I think that's we've had some very real and important answers to important questions. So it's been an honour having you on the show, Dr. John. Thank you so much for all your wisdom.
Well, thank you, Alden. Thank you, Prep. It's been a pleasure.
I think our viewers have been very shy and embarrassed not calling in for any questions.
I can imagine why, though I would be. But that's the end of another show. We've had an awesome time, and we've had lots of wise words from Dr. John. And I hope all your questions got answered. I hope you've had a good time too. And do keep in contact with us on Facebook, on Twitter. Are You Living It? On our email address, which is livin-it@hotmail.co.uk. The details are at the bottom of the screen. And we'd love to hear from you. Do email us and tweet us your crazy moms, crazy moments of the month. We'd love to hear them and read them out next show. Until next time, keep living it.